Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay, so thank you very much for coming to this micro credential. So coming to this micro credential, and then PC saya slow lah pula pagi ni. Tak gerak. Macam mana? PC ni tak gerak. The hang for unknown reason. But today memang kena guna PC. That's a thing lah. Itulah saya guna tab saya sekejap while apa ni? While this PC stabilize, insyaAllah. Because the first thing yang saya nak cover ialah, I mean I'm supposed to cover the platform, but I'll cover the checklist first lah. So that one I'll just open the other one sekejap lah. Okay, I need to switch on the mic kat sini. Itulah, saya switch on the mic yang kat sini lah. Okay, Assalamualaikum. Okay. Dia bergema because I need to switch off the PC punya mic ni. Sekejap. Bergema sikit kan?
Yes.
Nah, my PC punya mic ni tak boleh nak off. Okay lah, I'll start with my tablet first lah. While reciting the PC, because I need to actually use the PC to do the example for the HP file. So, but we'll start with my tablet first while the PC rebooting and stabilize. Because that's the first time I switch on the PC for the past weekend. So let's just start with inshallah we start with Al-Fatihah inshallah for the first for the tutorial. Okay, thank you very much for everybody who came in. So hope everybody have a good rest yesterday, as well as the last weekend where most actually, I think most of us who are local may be traveling to their hometown, and those international may be going outside of KL, since that's the first time that we could actually cross state after for very long time lah. So we have not been able to do that for quite some time. Okay, coming back to micro credential, this week is talking about the module development. Therefore, this week we talk about the module itself. We talk about how we could actually develop the module as a content. So this one, we are not talking about the proposal. We are not talking about the initial proposal or the full proposal, but more of what can we do to develop a content in micro-credential. I think that is the focus of today. Yes, some may not have done any proposal, some may have not done any initial proposal, even full proposal, but then at least this will actually gauge you or help us, especially everybody who want to develop the module, to see what type of content you could actually build from the module, as well as what are some of the examples that you could actually build using micro-credential platform. Okay, so basically, before I introduce I'll show you the platform and so on. Basically, I want to inform here that UIA engage the micro-credential platform that we choose, at least the micro-credential unit choose, just to make sure that it's streamlined with to make it easy to make it easy for academics and make it easy for others, because we have expertise already. Is our micro-credential platform are still using the Moodle engine. So what it means is Moodle engine is the engines which runs the iTa'lim, because iTa'lim is effectively the back engine of iTa'lim. How the whole infrastructure of iTa'lim runs is actually using Moodle, M-O-O-D-L-E, Moodle. So with that, those who are used to Moodle, I would say that could actually implement the content in micro-credential almost easily, because we would actually say that micro-credential is actually almost a stripped-down version, sort of. Our platform is almost a stripped-down version of the Moodle platform. So we remove some of the non-important features and we streamline it into a more of self-paced, self-learn. I mean, there are a lot of features in Moodle that most of the academics do not use, as well as for those technical support and admin, probably they could have a go at it, register and try a go at it, and we'll go through one by one what is how do you want to implement or create the content and some of the example of content. But that is the introduction I want to give lah. So on top of that, so what will happen is I'm going to share my screen now. I'm going to share my screen now. So let's see. Okay. I want to share my screen now. So what happened is, for the last part of the work is, if you go into the screen now, that you need to submit the initial proposal. Just to recap, the first one is number 1, initial. Number 2, full proposal. 3 is SENET endorsement. For academic module, you need to send in to SENET first for endorsement, saying that it's equivalent between the current cost. The micro-credential is another mode of delivery for the cost, for the accredited cost. So, and then you have all this cover page there. And then if you realize that at the end here, if I were to actually reduce that one in size, there is that submission content module development revision 1. So if I just click that one, okay, this is the only thing which is available in the micro-credential that is required to be filled when we are developing a content. So let's go one by one. Let's go one by one up until this one is quite some pages because there are a lot of checking going to be done. So this is the job of micro-credential liaison officer to actually verify whether that thing is that the status there is actually just to verify whether how good it is, because we pass this particular checklist. This checklist will not be reviewed by the micro-credential committee. It will be reviewed by the micro-credential liaison officer committee, effectively, because the liaison officer of every KCDIOM need to check that it is as per the KCDIOM standard, including the Kesatuan and Persatuan standard. So that, because every single KCDIOM may want to, we don't actually standardize the whole across UIA. Every KCDIOM may want to have their own style, their own niche, their own way of portraying their content. So we hope that every liaison officer later on will actually work out with the creators, inshallah, to actually standardize the content itself. So to standardize not the content, to standardize at least the flow of the content. So, but we're going to have some standard from MCU later on when we want to fill it. So, but that one will be on later stage where we do the standardization. But as of now, we let everybody to come up with their own and see what is the best way forward, inshallah. Because this is all pilot when we want to start on with. So some of the question that needs to be a landing page is the first part of the content. This the top part portion of the content. So the first top portion of the content, meaning that when we go into iTaklim, for example, or when we go into the micro credential platform, later on we're going to see the platform. So the first part of it is the first thing that when you see is the landing page. So the module title needs to be relevant to the module. Promotion marketing is relevant to the module, and module includes the marketing blurb. And then module information or the information below: synopsis, outcome, netiquette, estimated duration, module fee, credential, additional fee, type of module, learning path for step module, clearly stated, introductory video relevant, and instructor profile. So all this will be in the landing page. So effectively, what will happen is whenever people comes into the micro credential platform, they will see those boxes. So that is where we need to actually fill up some of the information there. So that one we'll see that one. So the next one is, for example, landing page visit. So we may have banner, we may have thumbnail and other relevant to the module. UM banner, we're going to have it available, and then thumbnail also available. We're going to see this one in the landing page, inshallah. And then module overview and information. So course includes welcome and getting started content. So meaning that whenever we start the module, they need to be welcoming and getting started content. So this needs to be on the first part of whatever content that we actually propose. So that one is the first level of whatever that we want to actually propose. So that is where we say that this content is about what, how they want to get started, what type of lesson there is, and so on and so on and so on. So and then another one is an orientation or overview for the module overall. So this is where, as well as each content are provided. So meaning that this is where we want to tell the learners, this is the thing that you're going to learn. These are the things that you're going to learn. What are the expectation? And then, for example, we may have our micro credential to be developed, to be completed in 40 hours. For example, 40 hours. But how long does they take? Because this is a self-paced, self-learn. So how long does they take to finish the 40 hours will depend on them. It could take them 1 week, could take them 1 month, it could take them 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years, or even 5 years on. But from micro-credential point of view, creators are to suggest, for example, a 40-hour module, are to suggest how many hours per week does the learner need to spend on your module. That is what we suggest. Or if you want to make it very specific, how many times and how many hours per week. Because it may be 40 hours, module, but it may take them 1 month. It may take them 1 year. And bear in mind, all creators needs to actually bear in mind that maximum duration for a learner to learn any module in micro-credential is within 2 years. So if you were to develop, for example, let me take a calculator to make it easy. If you were to say saying that you need to finish this module the slowest possible is actually 50. It's 52. Assuming that a year 52 times 2, so 104 weeks. So 140 divided by 104 weeks. So meaning that they need to at least spend around half an hour a day, half an hour a week. So minimum they need to spend is half an hour a week for the next 2 weeks, so that they could actually finish up the module. So that's the idea. So meaning that whatever it is, the minimum that the learner should spend a week for a module is half an hour. If they don't do that, then by the end of 2 years, that module consider is voided. So meaning that they cannot actually take anymore lah. So that's the end of their study. So they will, I mean, effectively there's no refund. They will burn their study lah if they do not complete it within 2 years. So that one needs to be clearly mentioned in the orientation overview of the module as well as each content lah. So probably each content, this content. So if you were to actually put, probably you could actually put this content will take you 10 minutes for you to complete. This content will take you half an hour. You could actually do that. Or you need to actually study minimum 1 hour, 3 times a week, 3 times a week. So that one needs to be clear. Another one is in the module, you need to actually clearly state the module outcome earlier on, meaning that at the end of this module, you will learn ABC. That one is the module outcome. And it is also advisable, although I don't put it here, I should actually write it there, advisable to put the content or the content outcome. So advisable also to put content outcome. So what we mean here by content outcome is, for example, you have certain content that you want them to actually cover. The content outcome is the activity that you want to cover, the what do you call it? The other one is the artifact that you want to cover. What is the outcome of that particular content that you are trying to actually put it in? Try to put it there as well. Another one is the module instruction to navigate the module is well written and provided. This is sometimes in micro-credential platform, because it's a model based, you could actually ask them to navigate different part of the section. You could actually ask them to skip, move forward, and then you could actually do a like if then else. If you want to actually put the next lesson, change lesson, and so on, you could actually do that. However, this needs to be clearly well written and provided, meaning that imagine all our learners are actually self-learn and self-paced. So if we do not do this properly, what will happen is it will actually make, I would say, easily make the life miserable because they do not know what to actually expect. So try to figure out in a way to help the learners to navigate the module in a seamless and easy manner. Why I say seamless and easy manner? Imagine that you are building a mobile phone, or how the Apple is running, how the Android is running. It should be that feel, meaning that learners should be able to intuitively know what to do next. Not by, because they don't have anybody to ask. Imagine that they don't have anybody to ask. They can if they want to ask the instructor, what should I do next? What should I do next? What should I do next? But it's not feasible to do that in micro-credential. So when we design the content, learners should be able to intuitively say, okay, now I need to do this, next I need to do this, next I need to do this, next I need to do this. Now I'm complete. They should be able to have that thought process intuitively rather than asking, have I completed? What should I do next? What is the next step? And so on. Those should not be in their mind in that sense. So they should be intuitively being navigated through the journey of learning. So somehow that needs to be conveyed by the creator. That is the job of the creator, to somehow create that seamless, that intuitive navigation within your particular module. So how you want to do it depends on individual creativity, depend on individual thought process on what are the best way to move across the journey. So next is module include module information, synopsis, and promotion. Of course, that one you could put it there. So what happened is that module, for example, you have module number 1, you have module number 1, we would actually suggest or really advise to actually put promotion for module number 2. And then promotion for module number 3, promotion for module number 4. Why not? Because they have completed the module, for example, or even if you want to do it earlier, a promotion for the whole set of modules. So, but this is up to the module creator to actually put it in. We won't actually constrain because every individual creators know what is best for their module. If I were to actually put a standard, then it may not be suitable for, it may be suitable for some module, but might not be suitable for some. So every module creator could actually put their information or their module content and so on lah, module promotion. So next is module objective or module learning outcome, clearly defined, measurable, and aligned to the learning activities and assessment. Okay, so this is key. This is key. So what happened is we already have the curriculum last time. That already submitted in the full proposal. However, those are not lesson plan. Those are still in the form of lesson plan, partial lesson. Those are partly lesson plan, partly curriculum, because we don't see the content yet. So in this sense, what we need to actually ensure later on, this is the job of micro-credential liaison officer, as well as if MCLO are not able to do it, we're going to get some external expert to actually verify this. So the module objective, learning outcome are clearly defined, okay, measurable. So we should be able to measure that is already being done or completed and align with the learning activities and assessment. Activities mean the learning activities. Assessment here is the learning artifact. So probably I'll need to change to learning artifact is better. So that one is one. And then prerequisite and skill are clearly stated. Yes, please, please, please. If there is any prerequisite of knowledge, skills that they need to actually come out with, please actually put it in. So we do not want to have an attrition rate of very, very high because they are taking some time to learn some other skills. The next one is estimated duration required to complete the module is clearly stated. This is what I explained earlier. So the duration, say 40 hours, and do put it in as well. So saying that if they need to study 1 hour per week, this is the job of the creators to figure out, is 1 hour per week enough? It needs to be 2 hours per week. Is it 3 hours per week? Is it 5 hours per week if it is a 40-hour module? So that one, every creator need to decide that. Because imagine 40 hours is equivalent to a week, effectively. So they could complete that if they spend 8 hours per day. But I don't think those who took micro-credential will spend 8 hours every day for 4 weeks. So what happened if it is a 40-hour module? So you may need to break it down into 1 hour per week, 2 hours per week. If it is 1 hour per week, it takes them 40 weeks to complete. So just have that thought process when we actually suggest. So 40 hours is 40 weeks is about how many months already they need to actually complete. So that is the question that we need to ask. Are we asking them to complete the whole module in 9 months, 8 months, 3 months, 6 months, 5 months, 4 months? Or 1 month. But I don't think 1 month is feasible because it's 40-hour module. 1 month doesn't make sense. Unless we are having that particular, not to say engagement, we have a collaboration with a company or institution that say that we want our staff to do micro-credential and they need to finish within a month. Then a 40-hour module could actually suit them. So, but it all depends on the creators, I would actually say, how you want to actually put that forward. So estimated duration, so that one is one. And another one is the learning path for STEP module is clearly stated. So in this sense, we need to actually clearly state the learning path for that particular STEP module. So meaning that what happened is for every STEP module, we need to actually think about what are the learning path that the student need to actually go, or the learner need to actually go, and we need to actually help them to actually identify the learning path for them. So I think that is the job that we need to actually start to figure out lah. So meaning that we have a stack module, and then as an instructor, as a creator, so I know that creators generally define, for example, as a standard, learners supposed to finish module number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 until they finish the stack, for example. However, there are cases, that one probably for standard general learners. There are cases that creators feel that depending on their experience, depending on their type of work, depending on the type of job scope they are now, the sequence could be reversed. The sequence could be changed. So if there are those type of processes or those type of thoughts that needs to be put in, then do clearly say, for example, for those junior accountant, for example, you need to take module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. For those senior accountant, or for those working in LHDN, I would suggest that you study 1, 2, 3, 4 very fast just to complete the stack, and then focus on 7, 8, 9, and then do the work in completion for module number 10. Could be that way. So, but it depends on how the creator sees it. So I would actually suggest that review that as a creator and see what is the best for that. Instruction on etiquette is provided. Okay, this is key, because this is key. This is any other classes, any other short courses that we actually propose lah. So this is like any other classes that we teach, any other classes that we go to, any other short courses that we go to. Do give clearly the netiquette in the micro-credential platform. For example, all assignments are to be submitted on time. For example, no racism, no talking about fundamental things which is not Sharia compliant. No discussion on if you want to put it inside, for example, some of the modules that don't want to actually have that. No discussion or no topics on politics to be discussed without boundaries, for example. Those could be the netiquette that you want to actually put it in. And then please give salam whenever you actually send a message to the forum, probably. So, but then this needs to be determined by the creators lah, I would suggest. Determined by the creators, and then the instructor could actually add some more later on, or could use immediately whatever that have been developed. So think about that, because there's a lot of netiquette in there. And then probably another one is please do not, because this is important when we do the micro-credential platforms. Because, for example, please do not share personal advertisement in this particular forum, on this particular chat. So could be one. So if not, then because we have a lot of learners across the globe, they may share Shopee ada sale. It becomes then it becomes a, rather than a learning experience, it may become a what do you call it, other experience. But that is what this etiquette you need to actually determine. But if, for example, the micro-credential is about selling in Shopee effectively, or about being an entrepreneur, being a digital entrepreneur in multiple platforms, yes, why not? Share everything. That one, no issue. Then, because that is the topic, so just share. Share all your personal advertisement, share everything, whatever you want to share, just share inside. Probably that one is not part of the netiquette in that particular course. So I think this is this is where we need to actually decide, or the creator need to decide what are the most suitable and relevant to that particular module. I hope that one is clear enough. Huh? So next one, we are talking about the module delivery. Module delivery, the layout follows the standard layout by MCU. So standard layout, we don't actually put very stringent standard layout. The only thing that we want to make sure that it is standard, it is logical, it is consistent, and it is uncluttered. So meaning that the layout should be, the basic layout that we want to actually put it is the one that I said just now. The number 4 there, navigate the module where return provider. The layout should be intuitive enough, like an iPhone, like Android. So it should be intuitive enough that people know what to do. So that's the most important aspect when we want to develop content. So I think that is if anything that want to be captured from here is the layout, the way that we structure the content need to be intuitive enough, need to be engaging enough, that the learner will want to go to the next stage and another. So that's why think about gamification in the course. Think about giving the micro badges which have nothing to do with the micro credential issuance. So your own badge, participation badge, whatever badge that you could actually create for your module. So you could actually do that. Think about that. So module is easy, or give star, why not? So module is easy to navigate, that link to the above one. So easy mean intuitive in that sense. So probably rather than easy, I put it intuitive will be a better word. Intuitive, better word. So module uses consistent color scheme, icon layout, related content organized together, and self-evident title. Okay, this is key when we want to actually develop module delivery. Think about it. I mean, I know that arts probably love to have multiple colors, rainbow colors across the whole board. But if you want to have rainbow colors, have a consistent rainbow colors throughout the whole board. Else, create something consistent scheme for your KCDIM. I'm not talking about for URA. For URA, we will not standardize across the board for URA yet. But I would actually put it consistent, at least consistent within KCDIM. If, for example, Kuliah Engineering feel that they want to use cyan or maroon as a standard color for KOE, maroon, then probably the whole color scheme will be a shade of maroon, probably. I'm not so sure whether that will be that will highlight or not, but that could be the one. But hopefully MCLO will discuss with the dean. Hopefully MCLO will discuss with the dean to see what are the features that we want to actually put forward for this color scheme, icon layout, and so on. That actually shows the KCDIM itself. So, and then self-evident title. So I think this is another one aspect that need to actually be considered, because sometimes we do not want the title that you put it in does not relate to the content title. So try to make it self-evident. So large block information are divided into manageable section as per standard layout by MCU. So this one is more toward, if you have a very large information, do make it into a smaller manageable section. So the standard is, we want it to be in such a way that it always have content, activity, content, delivery, activity, and artifact. That's what the standard are all about. So how you want to manage the large and small standard is up to you. But the block should be in a way there is a content, there is a delivery, there is a activity, and there is a artifact for that particular block. So a single block will be that one. But however, if that particular single block is larger, then make it slightly smaller. So make it smaller but still within that particular framework. That's what it is. Module are free of grammar and spelling error, of course, that one is by default. Text is formatted with title, heading, and other style to enhance readability and improve structure of the document. So imagine as well, this one is, I hope, creator will actually think about the accessibility. Accessibility means those with which are disabled lah. So maknanya, for example, those which have which requires large, which requires easy type of reading, which requires help when they want to actually understand the topic, which require help when they want to actually understand the reading part. So that one try to think about the accessibility as well on the text. So title, headings, other styles. So that one think about that. Yeah. So and then use a sans serif font with standard size at least 12. So why we suggest for sans serif fonts? There are a lot of fonts out there. I'm not saying the Arial, so just Google sans serif. Sans serif is a type of font which is easy to read. So try to use a sans serif font with standard size. So I mean, you choose whatever sans serif font available. Choose whatever. Example is Arial, but whatever sans serif font is fine. And then try to make the size to be at least 12, just to make it easy for the standard one to actually see. Yes, those who are using tablet, they could scroll it down, they could actually zoom out if it is iTaklim, but try to make it as easy for our learners so that we know the size of the fonts already as standard lah. This is to help the accessibility as well. Module offer access to variety of engaging resources. So this is one thing. This is one thing that I hope. In the curriculum last time, in the full proposal, you may not put all your URL there. You may not put yet your URL there because it's still under development. You are not so sure what to actually expect, what to actually do, and so on. But once we develop the module, think about all the engaging resources that you could actually find. So access to a variety of engaging resources. Whatever, if you want to find YouTube, use YouTube. If you want to use activity using Padlet, use Padlet. If you want to use whatever what I'm trying to say is use whatever the EdTech available to actually create that particular engaging resources activities. Identify the resources, identify the activities. So those could be engaging types. So flashing and blinking text are to be avoided. You can do it, it's possible, but try to actually avoid that because it helps, especially for some who cannot stand the blinking and the flashing. So because of the stroke effect. So probably try to help to reduce this or to at least avoid this as much as possible. Unless the micro-credential is talking about the best type of fonts, or this is how you want to engage, or this is how whatever that links to that requires the blinking and flashing. So credits are given to open educational resource if you use them. So this is also any other credits that you want to actually use. Do give credits to whatever resources that you use. So this is part of the copyright. So I hope that everybody are aware of this. Please help to do that. And then module materials and resources, including copyright and licensing status, clearly stating permission to share. If any of the module material and resources, as well as copyright, licensing, is there, please state it clearly. So that the idea is we do not want, because imagine our learners are from everywhere across the globe. Everywhere could access the platform. The Americans could access the platform. The Europeans could access the platform. The Gulf could access the platform. The African could access the platform, as well as the Asian could access the platform. And if there are any copyright issues, there are any legal issues, those particular copyright owners could actually bring UIA to court, in a Malaysian court, according to our regulation. And they could actually bring UIA to Malaysian court. So I hope we are clear on that and try to make it as best as possible. So next is we are talking about module activity and learning artifacts. So module provides activity for learners to develop high order thinking and problem solving skills. So think about it, how you want to have the activities. There are a lot of activities that you could put it in. So think about what are the activities that you could put it in. We'll show you some in the platform later on, inshallah. We'll show you some in the platform, inshallah. So I hope with that, later on, we could actually share what activities we could actually do, inshallah. So let's do that later on. Module provide activities that reflect and relate real-world application of the disciplines such as experiential learning, case studies, scenario-based, and PBL. So imagine these are actually adult learners, and then they are doing self-paced self-learn. So I hope whatever activities that we want to actually put it in, it is an experiential learning. So if it is not an experiential learning, it is a case study. It is a scenario-based or problem-based activity. Some of this, something that actually they could actually reflect or relate the real world that they are doing. So I think this is the thing that somehow micro-credential creators need to start to think. This guy, like I said, Ame is on his own in front of a PC or tablet or even mobile phone or mobile devices. And then he needs to start to think about how should I actually do this module? So how should I do this module? So he sits there, he think about it, and it's our job to make the life of Ame easy. So, and to make his life fun as well at the same time. So how do we do that? That is a question that we need to actually think about. How do we do that? How do we make sure that Ame is happy with the thing or with the study that we actually give them? So I think that is the idea that we want to actually give or we want to actually start. Gamification is included in the module to increase the engagement of the learners. Yes, one of the things, probably we could actually include gamification inside. There are a lot of gamification that could be included in the module. Think about it. I mean, open Google, figure out. So creator, that is what the job of creators is. Think about what are the gamification process. I mean, one of the gamification in EdTech is actually Kahoot. But I don't think Kahoot works well on self-paced, self-learn learners. So, but what can you do? I mean, it may work, it may not work, I'm not so sure. So, what can you do to gamify your particular learning process? I think that one is one of the things. And then include virtual reality, augmented reality in the module to create immersive learning experience. That is another thing that we could actually include in our micro-credential platform. Visual reality, augmented reality. I mean, we could actually include that in our platform if we want. So another one is module contain resources or activity intended for formative assessment of self-evaluation. So think about that. What are the resources for their formative assessment? Formative assessment is more towards whatever they do in their activity. It's not, I mean, our learning artifact are generally a summative assessment, and within the activities are generally formative assessment. That's how we segregate between those two. As well as self-evaluation. Self-evaluation generally, if we were to actually give in the, say, for example, quiz, but then it's a self-induced quiz or self-evaluate quiz. So it could be one of them. Formative is like during the activity that you do, and then you want to ask them, you actually grade them. You don't actually grade them, sorry. You actually give a feedback for all those activities. Those are formative assessment. Expectation for interaction, example forum, are clearly stated, including netiquette, grading, weighting, model example, and timing and frequency of contribution. So if we were to actually do any forum interaction, if it is graded, for example, because forum could run two ways. Forum could be an activity which is not graded. So that one could be just on how the contribution looks like, discussion and so on. It's more towards activity. Or you could create a forum as artifacts. So it depends on the type of module. Forum could be an activity, forum could be an artifact. So in this case, forum could be an artifact. So the grading, weightage, model, example, timing, frequency of contribution, and so on needs to be clearly stated. If we were to make it forum as an artifact, it is possible to do it that way. Module include frequency and appropriate method to assess learner mastery of content. So frequency, appropriate method to assess learner mastery of content. So this is what we talk about. This one is where the earlier on we need to actually tell them. If this is once a week that you need to actually take, for example, once a week, and then you say that I want to assess you every 4 weeks, every 4 weeks, meaning every 4 hours, every 4 weeks. Or I want to assess every 4 content, every 1 content. So every content finish, assess. Every content finish, assess. And 1 content takes about 5 hours. So put that expectation to the learners so that they know that they actually master slowly until they are fully competent in the module. So that is where the mastery of the content is. So the frequency that you want, the appropriate method that you want to assess needs to actually be there. It is in the curriculum, yes, it is in the full proposal, but then when you do the content, so somehow that needs to relate and match. Learners have opportunity to review the performance and assess their own learning throughout the module. So there are pre-tests, automated tests, reflective assignment, and so on, up to you. So during that particular session, you may want to do some pre-tests. You may have some automatic self-test. These are 2 quizzes module. You could use quiz for this one, pre-test with quiz, automated test with quiz. Or you want to do reflective assignment, a reflective assignment. So they send in, and this one is their way of saying this is the, and then reflective assignment could be an activity or it could be an learning artifacts. So does the automated self-test could be a learning artifact you want, or it could just be an activity they need to do. So a lot of things that could actually be done depending on how the creators feel set. Learners must be able to monitor their progress. So that one is another one. Learners are informed when time response is required. This is very important because learners are self-paced, self-learn. So if the creators feel, as well as the instructor later on, this one I'll repeat again to instructor, inshallah. So if the creator feel and the instructor feel, so generally the creator is the one that designed the time. So if the creator want a time response, then please clearly put inside. Because in a self-paced, self-learn, there is no time response for the assessment or assignment or quiz or whatever. But if you want it as a time response, you say that, please, once you finish learning this, please submit this thing within this particular time, or you need to actually submit the assignment within a particular time. Please actually clearly state that. Else, let it be. That's why it's when it's required. Generally, it's not required. Criteria for achieving a competency or learning outcome in a learning artifact is clearly articulated. So you need to actually have a rubric. We need to have exemplary work. We need to actually have whatever it is that will actually help the instructor to do their job. That is the job of the creators. Creators need to identify all the criteria for achieving a competency or a learning outcome in a learning artifact. So that one needs to be clearly articulated. So because the job of the instructor are mainly to run through the program, to run through your module. Creators could be instructors, but instructors is not the creator. Only creator could create the competency, learning outcome, learning artifact, and so on. Instructor could not. So instructor need to fully follow whatever the rubrics, whatever the exemplary work, whatever the example that you already gave, so that they could actually assess it as per standard that you already done. So it's the job of the creators to create the standard of work, the standard of competency, the standard of learning outcome that you need a learner to achieve. So once that standard is achieved, then we could actually consider the thing to be complete. So all the criteria need to be clearly completed before it is catalogued. So I hope that one is clear to all creators. Learners are clearly informed of all the learning artifact that needs to be produced either independently or with supervision of instructor clearly in the platform. So meaning that we need to actually tell the creator, the learners, saying that you need to produce this independently. You need to produce this with my supervision. We need to inform the learner clearly because this is a self-paced, self-learn. That's the only reason. Nobody will actually inform them. The only way is clearly through the platform. And then module delivery. This is the last few page of the submission. So slide or whiteboard requirements. So for all slideshow, if you want to do, there are simple non-automatic transition between slide, please. So, and then slide must be converted into video. So if you were to have any slides, no problem. You could do slides. I don't see any issue. We don't see any issue as a unit. Into the video and picture of the instructor on the right top corner with maximum instructor coverage of 10%. Okay, this one probably the number 2. I will actually make it open. Location is up to you. Originally we planned to have right top corner, but it seems like some actually already started to do bottom left, bottom right, and so on and so on and so on. So the idea originally is right top corner. So we forgo that for now, but with maximum instructor, with the maximum instructor coverage of 10%. So it should not be covering like more than 10% of the whole slides. That's the only thing. So about 10%. So 10% is quite big, effectively. So 10% of the whole area. So use the top below to create an engaging slide. So this is just our suggestion. So top 10 slide tips or 10 PowerPoint tips for preparing a professional presentation. You could do that. Or if you want, use a handwritten whiteboard. Handwritten whiteboard need to use engaging video apps. So if you want to use engaging video apps, so Classroom or whiteboard, I mean, try to use Doodly if you want. You could use the Doodly is one of the example of whiteboard engaging apps. So you could use that. So, but still have the picture. And then copyright of material are clearly shown, IUM and creators on this slide. So the last number 1 is actually to protect the creators. If you use slide, then make sure that the copyright are clearly shown, IUM and creators on each slide. This is to make sure that if there is any copyright claim, for example, from UIA and the creators, we could actually show that legally, saying that this is our copyright. If we were to claim our copyright, somebody else use later on and so on. So try to put in every single slide. So that one is important. So just to make sure that we protect our own copyright on the content. So next is video requirement. For all videos, an instructor-centered video method is used. So, okay. So, for all videos, an instructor-centered method is used. This is where I actually explained previously. In any micro-credential, there need to actually be 3. One is cognitive presence, one is social presence, and another one is the instructor presence. This is where the instructor presence comes in. That's why we want all video and instructor-centered method is used. So meaning that we want to have that instructor presence. So that is key, meaning that we are actually giving the instruction to our learner. These are the things that you need to do for your self-paced self-learn. For example, the easy one is Thank you very much to everybody. Today we'll be studying about sustainability development. There are 4 important aspects in sustainability development, which are A, B, C, D, and so on. And then after that, for some time, and then for more information, that is the basic one. For more information, please check all the URL that we have actually included in the platform. URL number 1, 2, 3, 4, for example. If you want to read, I'll just direct them to that. And then from there, and then if there is any questions, please put it in the chat box. That is where the instructor-centered method or instructor-centered interaction comes in the video itself. So meaning that the video are actually created for that content, for that activity, for that artifact. So that's how it links. So if we want to use a YouTube, it's fine. However, this particular instructor-centered video need to actually redirect to the YouTube videos that you propose. Or this particular instructor video need to redirect to whatever content that you want. So effectively, that's why at the end of the day, every content will definitely have about at least one delivery. Because you have a content, you need to figure out how to deliver. You want to deliver to YouTube, then instruct them to YouTube. Tell them what is, I mean, the idea is not to, the idea is imagine why it needs to be instructor-centered. So, for example, you actually give them some YouTube from somebody else, and then please learn on your own. So, but in the instructor-centered is what happened is you could actually say that the fundamentals of leaderships could be found in the YouTube videos that I've provided, the number 1. And then the key element of the leadership could be found in minute number 1, 1 minute and 20 seconds, minute 1 minute and 37 seconds, and minute 1 minute and 50 seconds. I hope that you could actually summarize that and put it in our activities. So that could be how you instruct the learners to actually learn. You already give them which minute to actually comes in, or there are four type of leadership role there. So please identify and reflect on the leadership role and put it in the activities. So those could be some of the ways that you want to actually put it in. You may not cover the whole thing, yes. You may not even talk about that. You actually refer to some YouTube. However, please bear in mind, when we actually refer our video in our instructor-centered to a YouTube, we run a risk that the YouTube video is not available. So if the YouTube video is not available, for example, what will happen is you need to redo your video again, because then the YouTube video cannot be linked anymore. So that could be the linkages that may have a problem. So that's why, as much as possible, we would actually suggest that all videos are actually to be created in-house and then uploaded to the platform. Yes, going to be a lot of capacity and storage that we need to actually figure out. But that one is much more secure when we want to build our own platform and we want to build our own sessions. So next is we talk about total maximum video length is 30 minutes per content. So this is where we say you could do your video up until 30 minutes. However, each video has a maximum of 10-minute duration. So meaning that your video 30 minutes per content, whatever content. So leadership, you want to cover leadership for 30 minutes, can just cover leadership for 30 minutes. And then, but every single video to 10 minutes, only 10 minutes. That's the only thing. So with this constraint, imagine these are instructor-centered, and there are activities. Try to spend a lot of those learning process in the activity. Because the instructor-centered is more towards them to start to trigger the mind or trigger the content on where can they get this content. And then imagine this way. The most important things that we want to actually put in our micro-credential is the must know and must have. not the need to know, I love to know, I like if you know, I love it if you know. Huh? So chunk it out on those enjoyable moment, must know, need to know, I like you to know, I love you to know, whatever the non-important aspect of the content, put it in the activity. The most important aspect of the content should be in your instructor-centered method. Meaning that the must know is in your content. The need to know, I love if you know, I hope that you know, wish that you know, is nice that you know, those should be in activity. So if they want to know, then it's fine. But the must know is the instructor. So have that clear in mind when we want to actually develop the content. Because yes, inside, I mean, for lecturers like me, as well as for some who have done teaching, sometimes when we actually cover, we don't actually cover the must know a lot. We cover the must know bit, and then the rest I need to know, because that is where our passion is. That is where our passion is, and so on, probably. So the must know we cover, and we cover a lot of the need to know, I love you know, this is my experience or what I know, and so on. So, but put it in perspective that when we talk about content here, think about it all the must know. What does the learner need to know should be from you. The rest of it, you put it in the activity. You want to put another 3 hours, 10 hours YouTube in the activity for your experience, it's fine. So that one, ask them to actually gauge, reflect on all your experience, but put it all in the activity. But on the instructor-centered, it's mainly what they need to know. This is the must that they need to know. Because this is where the assessment should come from, effectively. So, and then after that, all the activity, they reflect and so on. So that's, I mean, that's the thought that we put it in. Next is video should be in the following format. So HD format, yes, somebody asked me, can I put it in SD? So bluntly speaking, I say it should be a HD format. This is 1 megapixel format. So it should be a HD format, 1920 1080. The lowest HD format is 720. But why I suggest for this one is, imagine that you're going to use this for the next 2 years, 3 years. Hopefully, it will last 4 years, best. If it is evergreen module. If you do a low format and the PC, the computer is having a high format, then you're going to have a problem. Then you're going to have a problem. Then your picture will be pixelated a lot. HD format are good if you're using mobile phone or tablet. But once they go into 24-inch, 32-inch PC, you're gonna start pixelated. I mean PC monitor You're gonna go into pixelated, and that is bad for UIA reputation. So that is why we are focusing on HD format. We are not asking about be clear in mind. We are not asking about UHD, which is a 4K or 8K. Because there are 3 levels of format. One is the SD, standard definition format. This is the webcam, the 480 pixel. The HD format is the minimum is 720 pixel, but we are pushing for 1080 pixel. And then the UHD format is a 4K, 4080 and 80 something, 8000 something. So that is not the one that we're pushing. Yes, later on, if we were to use this video into a television, we need to actually move there. But at the moment, we are pushing at least for the HD format, so that at least if people were to use your micro credential to be shared on a TV screen, at least it still be good, your video. Imagine you need to actually think it this way. Somebody may still use your video to teach using a TV screen. So if we use an SD format, it will pixelated a lot. It doesn't look nice. It'll be like the 1970s movie, 1980s punya cartoon. 1980s cartoon that you could see very small, chunkered, and so on. So we are trying to help the learner, and we are trying to put some reputation on the creators, on the on the creators, on the KCDRM, and on UIA. So that's why the format are there. So instructor centered, as we said, learners can see the instructor or learner can see instructor and learning material easily. So those are important. So either can see the instructor. So I'm not saying that the instructor alone, you cannot put the lecture like you want to lecture alone, like blah, 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 like the TED Talk. So you can do like a TED Talk type of lecture. No problem with that, or instructor. You can do like a TED Talk. But some are more effective that way. So no issue with micro-credential unit. Or learner should be able to see instructor and learning material easily. So it needs to be and. So meaning that every learning material that you have need to actually have somewhere the instructor there. Why we really enforce this, or we really hope that you do this, is because we want to have the instructor presence. We want to actually have the learner to feel that you are there, to actually see and feel that you are there. They are already self-paced, self-learned. Without the instructor there, without the creator putting their face there, it doesn't feel like there's a human there. Especially now with all the AIs, everything could be created by computer. So we want to actually have that, the learner to have the feel that you are there, that there is a human on this particular module. And then smooth transition between video scene. Okay, these are just some editing issue lah. And then studio or professional video shot is made as much as possible. I know that for some places it's not possible. So, but try to learn on how we could do a professional video shot lah. Not necessarily studio, but at least some professional video shot. So how could we actually make it professional video shot even using a mobile phone? It's possible to do that. So, but you may need to have the gimbal and so on lah. So you may need to have the gimbal for your mobile phone so that thing doesn't shake and so on lah. So that one is one of the features. I can't remember how much that I buy the gimbal for my work for my mobile phone. But one of the thing is probably gimbal is one of the thing that could be used, so that you could actually, I mean, the best part about that is you could actually track down, move it. I think you see those YouTubers using that. So, and then use professional video app, example, Adobe Premiere, Adobe Effect, or other engaging video app that you could actually think of lah. Use any of the apps lah. I'm not asking what are the best apps that you could use. Just use any. That one is fine. So each video lecture lasts only one main content or one concept. So that one is granted. Subtitle or closed caption for video is available. So this one, if you are doing a Malay, we suggest that you put at least the English subtitle inside, because we want to cover a lot of people out there. And if it is in English, if possible, we want to have a Malay subtitle inside on the video so that people could actually learn. So copyright material clearly stated, IUM and created during the whole duration of the video. So this is one of the things. So last but not least, at the end of this, for all audio, an instructor-centered method is used. So meaning that if you want to use audio, instructor-centered method is used. So this is like macam you give any ceramah in masjid lah. Maximum audio length is 30. So this is through a podcast. So with that, probably I'll just stop here, inshallah. Just stop here, inshallah. And we could actually ask any Q&A at this particular moment in time. Is that fine? Boleh? Any question? Any question? Any question?
Dalam
Oh, ada dalam chat box. Okay. Sorry. Banyaknya, mesti banyak dalam chat box. Chat box ni nak tengok kat mana? In progress, in call messages. Good. Okay. What is the minimum HD format 1280720. Yes, that one is the minimum lah. Oh, okay. HD 720 ya, FHD lah. So 720 itulah 720 is a better one. Tapi 720 bagi FHD lah, betul. I'll update that one. Thank you very much. So minimum frame per second, generally I'll put it at 30. FPS standard 30 I think, but we don't usually control, but suggest 30 lah. And then if you use Doodle, Powtoon, that one is up to the creators, whether you want to have the paid version or the free version, up to the creators. So I'll okay, no problem. Okay, any question with that? If there's no, then I'll just share another one on the platform. So this one, I just share micro credential. This one is very fast one. Very fast one. Some example. Sorry. Micro credential. This one very fast one. I hope to get this one sekejap sahaja. These are some of the example that we could actually do. So I just put the courses here, manage courses. This is how I could see it, not how you could see it. And then I am just training. This is just some of the thing that I just want to show. Some of the video interaction that we could actually do. For example, this one, I hope you can see the screen. So for example, this is the H5P when we talk about sustainability. So these are some of the video. I mean, this video I took it from YouTube, or you could actually use your own video. So I just put some explainer, blah 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 blah, that talks about this thing, and then probably I just shift it here. And then once this one gonna explain about the video interaction, what it is all about, those 3 factors of the sustainability, and then they're gonna put there. And then what will happen is after talking, then with the H5P, so you could actually ask, what is the 3-pillar model in sustainability? So then they just choose. For example, one is government, environmental, and then assuming that I just put it on purpose. So just check. Government intervention is wrong. So that's where the learners could actually interact with your video. So this is one of the ways that we could actually do the video interaction. So this is one of the ways I would actually see. So one example. So another one that I would actually put it in is we could actually play audio, like for example, like this one. If I were to just play this one, so this is just playing an ayat Quran lah. So this is one. So this is another one. So we could actually be doing that. So if I were to play this one, okay, that one is another one. I'm just giving a teaser on what interaction or audio delivery could be done. So, and then another one is activity for learner. For example, another one is if we talk about languages, or if we talk about something that you want to actually do. This one could be a listening one. So listen carefully to the statement, for example. Okay. So for example, then I have that, then I could actually type here something like that. Nama saya Samsul Bahrain, and then probably just to check. Okay, so there's no mistake. So that one. So meaning that the person could actually listen to whatever your statement is, and then they type it again. So whatever it is. So it could be a language program, or it could be even it could be a language. It could be some other courses that want to do it that way. It could be one of them. So I'm not going to open all activities. So but what happened, that is some of them. So and then we have like the speaking just now. So I could how do you say blue in Malay? So how do you say blue in Malay? Probably I just press here. Biru. So and then that thing will actually respond. So I say biru. Okay, something like that, they should actually respond lah. So that one probably because of the tablet, I'm not so sure. So supposed to respond, yes, that's the correct answer and so on. So that is one, and then arrange prayer sequence. Okay, so that one is another one that we could actually do that. So probably this one just go up, this one just go up. So Subuh, Zuhur, Asar, Maghrib, Isha, and just check. So that one is all correct. So one of them could do some of the activities as well. And then review with learners. So this one, we could actually create a chat time if we want to actually review with learners. So this one is where we say next chat time is 23rd October, 10 a.m. So at this particular time, whoever is our learner could start to chat with us. So could be that. Another one is we could have a forum, discussion on the forum. This one we have not added any. So we could have a forum discussion, or we could have workshop simulated activities. So we could have a workshop simulated activities discussion. What are the items, graduating, and so on. So that one is another one. Or we could have online quiz. Online quiz. So we could have online quiz. So that one we could actually preview quiz. Micro credential is same as ODL. So if somebody answer true and then finish, and then immediately they get the answer, and then they could actually submit all and finish, confirm, for example. And then the answer is wrong, and then once you know the answer is wrong here, then you could actually explain. ODL are not the same, So that one could be the explanation. So you could actually do that. So and then another one probably we could have the online assignment. Online assignment, we could actually ask them to submit assignment online, and we mark them with the rubrics and so on. And then we could actually have certain pathways. If we want to actually have some interactive videos. So this is if we were to create a pathway on how to write the book. So with some interactive videos. So this is where we show a video interactive just now. So for example, this is showing some of the cooking way. So I just take it from the internet, that is. So this is talking about this is the video is running. You see the video is running, and then suddenly there's a multiple choice question there. So a student could actually stop and ask. So highlight what it is. So we check. So watch again. So you could actually do that. So have you seen more than that? So you could actually ask that, yes, and so on. So that is where we could actually go on. What are the steps and so on and so on and so on. So you could actually have a lesson plan or moving plan within your particular going back and forth depending on where the lesson are. So you could actually create a lesson menu at the side here, and then create where do you want to move on to the next lesson, to the previous lesson, and so on. So and then probably I just answer this one through, and then submit, and that's it. So that's one of the things that you could actually do for your micro credential in the platform. This is just a very, very simple teaser on what you could do. But for your information, so if I were to edit this one, so for your information, so all this, if I were to go site administration, courses, manage courses, and then we'll go to the collaboration, UIA, and then we have two modules there. So this one, and then we go into view this module. And then if I turn this editing on, because that's how you do it in micro-credential platform, same like Moodle. So what happened is at the end here, we could actually add activity or topic, activity or resources. For example, and I would suggest, you could use, there's a lot of things that you could there, but the interesting part about this is you could use a H5P content. Just investigate that one, H5P content, and there are a lot of things that you could do. So you could actually do interactive video, course presentation. You could actually multiple choice, question set, fill in the blank, drag column, drag and drop, image hotspot. If you were to do the for medical fraternity, you could put an image of a lung and then you see where the hotspots are. Accordion, you could do dialog box, single choice set, memory game if you want. Memory game pairing, meaning that we could do image pairing between the two. Flashcard if you want. We could do a flashcard if you want. We could do a flashcard if you want, and then we could do a flashcard if you want. We could actually iframe embedder. We could actually audio, essay, arithmetic, quiz, timelines, pick the word set, find multiple hotspots, pick word, and so on and so on and so on. You could have dictation there, guess the answer, Q, and so on. So there are a lot of activities that could be created inside here. So these are some of the things that you could actually use. These are some of the popular ones, and you could actually see which are the newer ones and so on. The newer one I've not downloaded. So how do you do is you have image choice that you want to do, just press get, install in your platform, and then they'll be installing it, and then you could immediately use them. So that's the thing. So with that, that's the end of our micro-credential briefing for today. So I will actually stop here for any Q&A, probably. And then if there's no Q&A, then we stop here, inshallah. So probably now I just pass to anybody for Q&A, inshallah. Okay, no problem, Dr. Nazatul. So any Q&A? Any question? Any question? No question. Okay, there's no question, then thank you very much for everybody. So we'll put the video inside our platform, inshallah, later on. And then if there is no question, then next week will be an open session. So that is where I won't be presenting anything, because this is the last presentation, initial, full, and content development I already covered. So next week onwards, next week onward, how we will actually do is any creators that feels they want to share, to discuss their module content or module proposal, they could actually come and share their screen. And if there's no, no question, if there is no sharing or no question, then we could actually stop the tutorial session. So the tutorial session starting from next week onwards could be as short as 5 minutes or could be as long as 1 hour. So depending on what help is needed or what help is given to every single creators, inshallah. So with that, thank you very much to everybody, and hope to see those who need the unit help next week or next week. Else, then I see everybody around, inshallah. So with that, we close the training with tutorial with Tasbih, Farah, and Surah Al-Asr.